Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1614. It is Sunday, a little after 9. I'm a little tired. Boy, card shows tire me out. And I didn't even have to do any manual labor yesterday, with the exception of carrying some cards and some signs. But I'm always a little sore. I think it's from standing a lot. Because my wonderful assistant, Cameron, yesterday, we went out to dinner after the show. We were sitting and got up, and it's like, ooh, I'm a little achy. So we had the Madison Card Show on yesterday. So leading into, here's the thing. My biggest issues this weekend were my own doing. Losing my phone for a half hour slowed me down a half an hour, which is those 30 minutes from 6 to 7 a.m. I have to do a lot of stuff between 6 and 7 a.m. on Alliant Energy Center card show days, because I can only access the building at 6 a.m. I can't get in there any time sooner. The hotel, I can go in whenever I want. That is the nice thing about the hotel. And it's like they have closets with chairs and tables. Well, not really tables, but sometimes we can make do. The Alliant, like, you can't. There's not a closet where I can go grab it. Oh yeah, I got an extra. I don't have enough space. Oh yeah, let me go in this closet, see if there's an extra table. We can't do that. Yeah. So that 1 hour that I have, that 60 minutes that I have from 6 until we open the doors for dealers at 7 o'clock, is very important. And then I lost my phone yesterday, so that put me behind. I also failed to reorder lanyards, which is another expense that people are, when they're counting the tables and counting how much I charge, and oh my God, you're making a killing. They don't think about all the random expenses that I have, like lanyards. So I forgot to order more lanyards, which I get from Amazon. You know what? Since I'm talking about that, I'm gonna go order some now. Let's see. I'll just tell you how much I pay for them. It's not that much, but it's still an expense. Your orders. My wife orders a lot of stuff. All right. Sign stands. Oh, those were actually pretty cheap. $50. Foam boards, $50. Those are card show expenses. There's got to be, yeah. So I definitely did not order lanyards. Oh, there they are. Holy shit! This can't be right. Lanyards are $1 a piece. No, that's not. Oh, I ordered 3. So they're $32 a package. We're gonna order another $100 worth. Let's see. We want 3. Buy it now. So there you go. There's another. That's a whole table plus. It's a whole table plus. Actually, it's $101.07 after tax. Well, I am tax exempt. How do I get my tax exempt number into Amazon? You know what I want to do? I want to make enough money so I can hire somebody as my personal life assistant. And I don't want to spend time with them. I don't want to spend any time with them. I want to do everything via text. I just want to text them my problem. Hey, I have this problem. Actually, I would just have them order the lanyards. I would just say, order lanyards. Figure out how to get tax exempt number into Amazon and eBay and everything else while you're at it. This person's complaining. Deal with them. That's what I need. I want to make enough money where I can hire somebody to deal with the bullshit. That's my goal. That's my new goal. Maybe one of these days. Maybe I don't need to work for that. Maybe I can just go follow Low Roller Scratcher around. I can play some skill games, win a big skill game, and then I can afford my personal life assistant. So Friday night, So speaking of the lanyards, this is where I was leading into my story. So I failed to reorder my lanyards, which I just did now. So I only had 100 lanyards left, and then I had some. Then I had, because I because I do spend money on these. So if people leave them on their table, I'm going to take them and reuse them. So I had like maybe 50 that were left behind over the last couple shows. So that maybe 150. So I'm like, all of a sudden at like dinner, I'm like, all of these things are going through my head. And I'm like, shit. I don't think I have enough lanyards. So obviously I can't Amazon at 6 o'clock on a Friday night for Saturday morning by 6 a.m., 7 a.m. And I'm like, well, Walmart probably doesn't have packs of 100. Like, well, maybe they have packs of 20. At least if I could find a few just to get me by, and maybe find like an alternative, like clips or something. So I go to Hobby Lobby after finished dinner. I'm going to Hobby Lobby, and my wife's like, well, why don't you look online for some? I'm like, I did. They don't have like all their it'll probably be faster for me just to go to Hobby Lobby and Walmart as opposed to just trying to find it on Walmart, because what's going to happen, I'm going to spend the next 30 minutes trying to find if it's in stock, and then I'm just going to have to end up going anyway. So this just eliminates this. So if I had a personal life assistant, I wouldn't, and they would probably, I want to hire somebody smart enough to read my mind. Like, Bo needs lanyards. Like, that's what I need. So then I wouldn't have this issue. However, it did pay off. My failure to reorder lanyards paid off in the end. And here's how. So I go to Hobby Lobby, and I walk around the store and finally find somebody. And I'm like, do you have any lanyards? And I should have been more specific. Like, I need hundreds of lanyards. That would have at least saved a trip to the front of the store and back. So like, oh yeah, we have lanyards. And they're like pink bunny like little cutesy one-offs. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, do you have like plain black? Do you have like packs of them? And again, I wasn't specific enough. Like, I need like 300 or 200 or even 100. So she's like, oh, okay. So I think let's check here. We go to the back. There they are. They're packs of like 5 or 10. I'm like, okay, well, I'm like, this will do. And she like looks, and I'm like, well, I need a couple hundred. And she's like, oh, well, we can have them ordered. And I'm like, well, I need them tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. And she's like, oh, okay. And I'm like, this is completely my own fault, but these 10 will do. So thank you. I appreciate it. I check out. I go to Walmart. It's just across the way. So I go to Walmart, and it's Friday night. I'm like, I'm going to go check the card section. What I've really been looking for is the Mosaic football Christmas boxes. Because in my eBay live streams, 2025 football, like, everybody wants Jackson Dart, Cam Scadaboo, Matthew Golden, 2025 rookies, super hot. And there's not that much football product out for 2025 right now. So strike while the iron is hot. So I've been looking, I was at the card shop on Friday afternoon. Oh, I want to talk about that. And they had the boxes, and of course they're, upcharged. They're like $30. Well, they're only like 12 at Walmart. So I almost bought, a little high pitch, little puberty pitch right there. So I almost bought one for $30 at the card shop. And I'm like, $30. I'll wait. So unexpected trip to Walmart, go to the card section. Guess what's on the shelf? 5 Mosaic Christmas boxes. And guess what? I cleared the freaking shelf. All 5 of them. And they had 2 Christmas tins of Donruss. Cleared all 2 of those. Go back. Guess what? They don't have lanyards. I'm like, well, this is all right. This is a win for me. At least I've got something to do. Hang out on the couch is it decompress before you compress? What's pre-compress, I guess? Because decompress was last night having a couple beers. Compressing was during the show. I was pre-compressing. So I'm So I go home and I had to take care of some things on for the card. Oh, I put the card show map for the first time. I put the card show map up on the website, which is something I've thought about doing in the past, and it's just never. And somebody, I had part of it created. I've got the map. I've got the dealer list, and it's just me going to do it. So I did that. Oh, back to Walmart. So I did buy more stuff at Walmart. So they didn't have lanyards, but they did have like clips. So you could clip your thing to your shirt or to your belt loop or whatever. So I did buy a bunch of those. So we used those once we ran out of lanyards yesterday. So I come home, I put the map up on the website and do that. And now it's like, and I'm like, there's something else. I finished that up and I'm like, there's something else that I need to do. And I can't remember what it is. So I put my laptop back on the counter and I'm like, oh yeah, I've got cards to open. So I open up a mosaic box and it's like, ooh, this is fun. So this is what they are. You only get 10 cards. You get a red and white stripe rookie. You get an ornament. So this is Travis Hunter. So I'm going to pop that out. I'll sell this on eBay Live tonight. So I'll just show you, this is the new mosaic football. So it comes in just a 10-card pack like this. You get Derrick Henry. I got a Darnell Mooney. Baker Mayfield. So some of these I'll sell in Chimera Dike. He's a Wisconsin Badger. So some of these I'll sell as singles. Mitchell Evans, red, white, stripe rookie. You get a Patrick Queen. Breece Hall. Ooh, Cam Ward rookie. Yeah, that was a good pull. Bijan Robinson, so I'll sell that, and Kendre Miller. So really, most of these I'll sell as singles because they'll sell for at least $1. So Bijan will sell. The red, white stripe will sell. Chimera Dike is a rookie. Will sell. Baker will sell. Derrick Henry will probably sell. So then, like the 4 commons that are left over, I'll just do a lot, likely. So get some penny sleeves for those. Be curious to see like how Cam Ward does. So that was box 1. Box 2, I open it up, and all of a sudden I pull this, and I'm like, oh, Travis Hunter, and I'm like, oh, I think that's a special card. It is. It's a stained glass card, and so I was excited, and then I looked it up on eBay, and I got even more excited. I go, oh. And my wife goes, what? Are you okay? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, this card, it's like a $500 card. So this was Friday night. One had sold either Thursday or Friday morning for $512. And so I put mine up. There were a few on eBay for, I think, $550. And so I'm like, I'm just going to price mine at $500. I bought 5 of these mosaic boxes and 2 of the tins. So whatever my 50, 60, I don't know, say $100. I'm like, if I sell it for 500, like I'm already in the green. I made my money back on Topps basketball already, and I still have a few cards left that I saved because they weren't selling on Thursday. So listed it for 500. I got an offer yesterday, like during the show, for 425. I sat on it for a few hours last night. I'm like, I'm just going to take it. So sold it for 425, paid. Here we go. And I sold from 2025 basketball from the blasters I bought. This gold auto, Will Riley, Illini, Washington Wizards rookie out of 50. That sold for $160. And I did like $100 in my eBay Live sale. So I think I paid $180 for my retail. So, and that was just kind of a funsy rip. Like I didn't care. Like I wasn't doing that to make money. Like, did I want to make money? Absolutely. But it's Topps. It's kind of like Series 1 baseball. It's like, ooh. And I've actually watched a couple NBA games to start the season. I'm a Spurs fan now, remember? I did buy a bunch of Wembies. No, I didn't buy any Wembies. Maybe I did. Maybe I bought a couple yesterday, but I bought a bunch on eBay. Um, and I didn't buy a lot yesterday because I've bought so much over the last couple of weeks. So I'm still going through a lot of new inventory. And with eBay Live's issues this week, my sales numbers are way down for October, despite buying a lot. But this week really slowed me down with the card show on top of the issues eBay was having, especially on Wednesday. Didn't make a dime, and I had a lofty goal that night. So we'll see if they promote the collector's corner for next Wednesday. If they don't, I'm just gonna keep holding what I have ready until they start promoting that, because I'm not gonna, I want a little boost when I run that stuff. So also went to the card shop. I had to pick up the vendor badges on Friday afternoon. Had to go to Cross Plains to pick those up. Thanks to Cody. Shout out Cody. And Cody, I bought some cards off Cody. Cody 608 Sports Cards here in the chat. He gave me the link to the hookup for the vendor badges. The company he works for, Latitude Graphics in Cross Plains. So ordered the vendor badges. Cody was at the show, bought some cards from him. He's like, "What are you looking to buy?" And I'm like, "What are you looking to sell?" So he had 6 or 7 Dalton Varsho rookie autos. Great time to sell. So it gave me a great deal, like $10 an auto. So got a good deal on those. So those I'll likely have, and I think I bought a rookie auto out of a bargain box yesterday, Dalton Varsho. So I'll probably run a couple tonight and then sit on a couple, and hopefully he hits another home run in the World Series. Dalton Varsho plays for the Toronto Blue Jays, who happen to be in the World Series right now. He happened to hit a home run in the World Series. So there you go. And you call yourself a baseball fan. So I went to Bonsai. So after Cross Plains, I went to Bonsai, which took me a completely different. It was kind of nice. It was almost like a scenic road trip. Because I had never gone the way it took me up around. I went north, like to Springfield, and what other town was it? Dane? I've heard of Dane, but I'd never been to Dane. No reason. Although they apparently they do have a really good fish fry in Dane. So saw Dane, and then came down into DeForest, went to the card shop, and so I sat there and hung out there for a couple hours. Ended up buying quite a bit of stuff, and he had set aside like some bulk boxes for me for people that like just throw card. They like people that rip, like leave base at the card shop, and they have a box for kids, and they just throw cards for kids, in a free box. Like kids can take whatever they want out of that box, but they have so many people that just dump cards. Like modern stuff, and they don't have enough space for like the free card, so they box it up. So I got a good deal. I bought 2 boxes here. I said the other day, I'm not buying bulk. Now, I bought like 5,000 or 6,000 cards. I went through one box when I got home Friday, pulled a few hundred cards, 200-300 cards. The rest boxing back up, and they're going to the storage unit. So, and there was some wrestling in there. So nothing like decent, but cards that I can probably move in lots on wrestling night. So was at Bonsai to pick up the coupons and then also buy some stuff. And I bought how many? Maybe 200. I think I bought about 200 dollar cards and $200 cards, and then a couple like $5 random stuff. I don't even know. There's actually still in my car. I can't remember what else I bought. So a lot of football, I bought a little mix of football, baseball, basketball out of the bargain boxes. So that'll good stuff for like low risk stuff that I can run during the day. That's like names that, if I sell for $2 or $3, it's a win. That sort of thing where it's not like I'm spending $5 and I'm selling it for $3 on a Tuesday afternoon or whatever it might be. So that was my Friday. Actually, a very very busy Friday now that I look back on Friday. And I want to talk about my losing my phone. Then we'll get into card show talk. So Saturday morning, I can like retrace my steps exactly what I did Saturday morning. And I get into my car. I have everything ready to go. Open the garage door. Take a deep breath. I'm ready for the day. I'm getting ready to compress. And I'm thinking, like, do I have everything? And I'm like, I feel like I'm missing something. But I always have that feeling, like, whenever you're going somewhere, you're traveling, you always feel like at least I do. I always feel like you're missing something. So I'm going through my head. I've got everything. So I'm cruising and like I'm making good time. Like I'm going to be there a few minutes early, a few minutes before 6. I'm like, oh, it's nice. It's nice, crisp fall morning, chilly. It's like 38 degrees. It's dark out still. So I get, which was weird because it's been light out. The last show was still light out when I got there at 6 a.m. So I pull into the freight entrance or whatever they call it, the alley, the freight loading docks, and stop, put it in park, go to grab my phone. Where's my phone? Oh, it's in my pocket. It's not in my pocket. Oh, I'm wearing shorts. Maybe it fell out of maybe it slid out. Nope. Now I'm starting to get concerned. Feel my seat. It's not under my seat. First place to look, between your seats. Between your seat and your console. Nope. Look on the floor. Nope. Look on the passenger seat. Nope. Get out. Get in the back seat to see if it slid underneath onto the floor. Nope. I'm like, oh. So now my mind's racing. It's a pretty important tool, especially yesterday. So I'm going back through. I'm like, where could it have been? I'm retracing my steps. I'm drawing a complete blank. All right. So I had to send like a last minute parking pass out in the morning. I did it from the kitchen island on my laptop. I had to get my phone out to get the email address to type it into the laptop. And I'm like, that it's got to be, I bet I left it on the island. So I race back. Now it's like, shit, I'm not going to get home till, it's 10 to 12. It's about a 10-minute going really fast, 10 minutes. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to get back till 6:20, 6:25. So I race home. I go straight to the kitchen. It's not there. I look all through the kitchen, going to the pantry. No. Maybe I left it when I got my backpack. Maybe it's downstairs on the guest bed. No. Shit. Going to the bathroom. Going to my office. Nothing. Now at this point, it's like I don't have any more time. Like I'm already like running behind with what all of the stuff that I need to do. Crap. I've got Cameron, who's never worked this event before, probably already there. How do I get a hold? He's probably like, where do I go? What do I do? I'm like, oh my God, this is not good. So I race back to the Alliant. I've already got a couple dealers there, my normal early birds. And I'm like, head down. I'm just like, hey guys, and go in. And now I'm like frazzled. I'm like, I don't know where Cam's at. He doesn't know where to go. I can't get a hold of him. He can't get a hold of me. I've got to put numbers down. I've got to get all my shit out of the car. I'm like, oh my God. So I go in, I start putting numbers on the table. I'm like, I've got to go do this. So I go back to my car. I get into the passenger side door, and guess where my phone was? Between the console and the seat. It hadn't even dropped underneath. It was right there. It was probably in my cup holder, and it popped up. So I'm telling my wife this story last night, and she goes, why didn't you use Apple CarPlay? And I'm like, I don't think I have Apple CarPlay. And she's like, yeah, you do. And I'm like, oh. And I'm like, well, I don't know how to use it. And she's like, well, don't you make phone calls through your car? And I'm like, yeah, but I use my phone. She's like, you don't use the Apple CarPlay. And I'm like, no, I use like the Bluetooth. I'm like, I don't even know. I don't even know how that would work. Maybe I'll learn. So this is like the first time I've ever lost my phone. I mean, and fortunately, it was only lost for about 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes. So that kind of put like, and I'm like, if this is the way the day is going to start, this is going to be a tough day. This is going to be a rough day. And it wasn't. That was like the worst part of the day. So if that's the worst part of the day, I would consider yesterday's show a success. So, and thankfully with Cameron being there, like I was able to rush through and get all the numbers that needed to get done and help him at check-in, float around and you know, get signs up. And I didn't need to shop. I've bought so much the last couple of weeks that, you know, I wasn't anticipating spending as much as I have the last couple shows. So it actually kind of worked out that, you know, I didn't have to, because what happens is even when I don't intend to spend, I end up spending. And guess what happens? That's when you have shit everywhere. So, excuse me. So yeah, let's go to the chat and then we'll talk about yesterday's Madison Card Show. Uncle Rich in the house. Good morning to you. SoCal guy is here. What's happening? Gundy is in the house. Good morning. Sheena, what's going on? Sheena was at the card show as just a customer for the first time. How weird was that? Sheena's in Rockford today. Very nice. Uncle Rich, good morning to you and yours. Oh, and a 250 table card show would wear out anybody. Did 2025-26 set a record for shortest relevancy? I don't think so. Digital assistants are a real thing. Interesting. Is that something I can go on like Fiverr? Hire a digital assistant? John says, promoters and dealers bitching is real Karen shit. Amen. And guilty is charged. Gundy, good luck with the assistant. How much do you pay? I don't know. It's probably going to cost a lot. That's why I need to make enough money to do it. With the exception of people who live in their parents' basements, we typically need to earn what we receive. Can we talk about some real world shit? Like whatever happened to Car Dealer Pro, and have we done a wellness check on them? They're still hustling and bustling. I just don't use them anymore. I have no need doing live selling. There's actually one of my dealers had a Car Dealer Pro sticker on its box. And I'm like, hey, awesome. So yeah, they're still thriving. I just don't use it. But you can, if you want to sign up, you'll get 500 free scans when you use promo code CUBS, CUBS, when you sign up for any subscription. Check it out, cardealerpro.com. There you go. John says, roadies stopped using lanyards years ago. You should upcharge the dealers their table fees and tell them you're into the lanyards for this much. I am. And the badges and the insurance and the security and the staff and the advertising, the sign stands, the parking. Oh, speaking of parking, String, the original name tag lanyard. Speaking of parking, so we had this whole, and this is for the dealers, this whole fucking back and forth with the parking situation for my vendors. So I'm like, how can we do this to where you're not going to surprise me with a bill of just some random number of people you let through and now you're charging me, which I didn't pay. They waived it. So they're like, well, you can prepay. I'm like, can I just give you a list of names? And they're like, no, you have to go through this third party and we'll have to do an addendum to the contract, all this bullshit. So I'm like, all right, here we go. So sign this addendum, bill me for this fucking parking, and sign up for this fucking parking app. Fucking going through the email database, every dealer that, each day I didn't go by table. Thank God I didn't. I'd be throwing even more money away. Most of the dealers didn't even have to scan their parking pass. I had a couple dealers come in. They're like, There's nobody at the gate. Like, we're okay, right? Yeah. And then they got to the gate. They weren't even scanning. They were just waving people in. Just go, park for free. Yeah. Just tossing money away. Just throwing money away. Hand stamps, the original lanyard. Hand stamps, gateway to tramp stamp tattoos. John says a lot of dealers have exposed lower backs due to physical anomalies in tiny shirts made in Asia. Gundy says, put it on the dealers and tell them it's their job to remember their own lanyards. You provide the first one. Yeah, and that's kind of, I don't want to do that. That's just kind of, yeah. I'll suck it up. The eBay network engineer that screwed up Bo's Live must now work for TCDB. Uh-oh, trading card database issues. Lanyard sponsorship opportunities. There you go. Oh, you know what? I could probably get a logo put on the vendor badges. How about that? I like it. Will Dodgers have to pay tariffs on their gate receipts from Game 1 and Game 2? We talked about Dalton Varsho. Helps narrow down my Googles. Baseball is dead is what I always say. Thanks for keeping up. Bo's never been to Dane, but he kind of likes the music. Taylor or Ron? Will you be building a ballroom addition to your house? Not yet. I've got to make enough to hire the personal life assistant. And then once I can get that accomplished, then we'll work on the ballroom. I've started moving shit into my storage unit. There you go. And so it begins. The circle of card life. Looking forward to seeing it again on Storage Wars. Did you have to pay for parking? Yeah, there's the fucking parking. Pro tip to Madison Card Show attendees, park on the loading dock before the sun comes up. You need a second phone so you can call yourself after losing your first phone. There you go. Since it's just you and I, can we switch to Zoom? You should just get a lanyard for your phone. Do you not have Find My iPhone on your phone? Well, yeah, but if I don't have my phone, how am I going to find it? There's probably a way. I just don't know how to do that. Having CarPlay and not using CarPlay may be the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Why? I actually I think it was my last car. I I don't know. I purposely not disconnected it, but whatever you do, because it was automatically. It's like it was causing me more problems. It was not helping me. After Hobby Hotline yesterday, went to the local Frisco Card Show in Plano, Texas. Frisco Card Show in Plano. Isn't Frisco a city on its own? Wouldn't it be the... why is the Frisco show in Plano? Shouldn't it be the Plano show? Found Treasures. Good morning. Maybe I'm completely wrong. The guy who normally does not bring his loaded dollar boxes brought them, and I picked up over 100 cards. Ooh. Found Treasures still has an attic of unopened junk wax if you're still selling them on your live auctions. I have quite a bit now, but if you send me an email of what you have with a price, I will certainly, I could certainly be of interest. Depending on what it is, I don't need any 88 Donruss. I am flush with 88 Donruss and 89 score right now. What else do I have a whole bunch of? I think my box. I've got 90 Donruss. I don't need any 90 Donruss. But shoot me an email of what you have and what your prices are, and I might be interested. Donald says upcharge dealers because the value of the items on the table. Oh, value of the items on the table. It's called the PSA upcharge. Yeah, right. Write that down. Dallas Card Show used a sponsor for their lanyard badges. I like it. That's a 1971 Three Dog Night song lyric I butchered. Aha. And I see John is coming down to the next Dallas Card Show. Rich says, anytime you get an in-person appearance from JK, it's a special treat. Shane, what's going on? Facility management people rarely have their crap together. You just have to go in there doing your best Vince McMahon ramp walk and tell them what's what. Rich says, yes, but he calls it the Frisco Card Show, and it's on the border to Plano. Gotcha. Cooter says, why is the Dallas show in Allen? Ooh, that's a good point. However, that I understand, because I would assume Plano and Frisco are the same size. Allen and Dallas, like you tell somebody, I'm going to the Allen Card Show. They're like, where in the hell is Allen? You say, I'm going to the Dallas Card Show. You know you're in Dallas, Texas. So that I understand. Kyle and his team now do run an occasional show in Dallas now. Or the Dallas Card Show in Chicago. Now that I don't understand. That I just don't understand. Which isn't in Chicago. It's in Schaumburg, which is like an hour from Chicago. Jesus. The Dallas Card Show, which is not in Dallas, it's in Allen. In Chicago, which is not actually in Chicago, it's in Schaumburg. They also do Cincinnati area show now. Plano is actually the largest city in the country without a professional sports team. Really? So what's the population of Frisco? More than 300,000 residents. That seems kind of small. I would think there's cities larger than that without a professional sports team. I don't believe you. I don't believe you on that. Send me a link. Yesterday's card show went well, despite me losing my phone in the morning and putting me 30 minutes behind. I had less issues than the hotel show, which is always nice. Limited complaining about parking. In fact, I don't know if I heard anybody complain about parking. Now, we did have less people this month. 2 months ago, and it's not because of the parking, because 2 months ago, you had to pay for parking also. We had over 2,000 go through the door in August. We were at about 1,600 yesterday. So I thought initially we had more traffic based on the coupons we handed out, but we also ran out of those coupons because we didn't have enough printed in the first two shows. So we printed double the amount, and we had some left over. So I would pin it on around 1,600 attendance. So a couple hundred down, few hundred down from the August show. I expect the next Alliant Energy Center show to be a new record setting for crowd. It's right after Christmas. Those shows, December, January, February, typically have been historically my most traffic shows in Madison have been the most traffic shows. December, January, February at the end of the month. Now, my before Christmas shows have been brutal. 2 years I ran before Christmas and they were awful. One of the worst attended shows. The last 2 years I've done after Christmas and before New Year's, like right in there, and they've been insane. So we'll see. I expect the November shows in the hotel next month to be well attended, and I think we're on a stretch. October, there are countless YouTube videos out right now about how October is dead and this is normal, and it really is. It's just bad. I was talking to a vendor who deals specifically in baseball, but almost specifically in prospects and that sort of thing, like big Bowman guy. And he's like, yeah, I didn't do well at all. And I'm like, it's October. Look what you're selling. It is what it is. I had mixed reactions, or not mixed, mixed feedback based on, I really wanted to compare to the last Alliant show. How'd you do compared to the last Alliant show? I would say a majority of the dealers I spoke with said it was about the same in terms of sales. I had one said they had the best show they've ever done. And I had a few dealers that said it was pretty bad. I didn't do that well at all. So overall, I'd say it was probably, with sales numbers, it was probably very similar to the August show, despite a lesser crowd. It was an interesting crowd too, and Cameron and I were talking about this after the show. There wasn't as big of a rush at the open. There was a good crowd. There was a good line. There was a nice line. I put a video on Twitter, I think, and probably the Facebook page. So there was a good line. It wasn't as as big. It may have only been, a dozen people or so. I don't know, but it didn't seem as long as the August show. However, it was also like 38 degrees yesterday morning. It was like 80. We had a high of 80 at the last show, high of 45 yesterday. So I think the weather, it also started raining later in the morning, and we had kind of a secondary, not really a wave. We didn't have a rush. We never really had, with the exception of the doors opening, we didn't have a rush at any point. Every once in a while, we'd have like 10 or 12 people come in at the same time, but no like big rush. But I think the kind of late arriving crowd, it was weather related, and it's raining. Let's go to the card show. So I think that had, a little bit to do with it. The August show, the sports room, and I knew it would get a lot of traction on Twitter if I posted the videos on Twitter. Because as I'm walking through, I'm like I can't believe the difference in these rooms. And I'm like, this will be a popular tweet. So, however, the sports room was actually still semi-full later than it was 2 months ago, if you can believe that, based on what videos you saw. The sports room was actually, it was like 1 o'clock, and I'm like, wow, like only a couple dealers have packed up at 1 o'clock. I got guys that leave at like noon. Like, what the hell are you doing? When it's only a couple guys, it doesn't matter. When all of a sudden half the room. But this is the slippery slope, because I don't want to handcuff dealers. Well, the show runs until 5. I need you to be here until 5. If at 1 o'clock there's 10 people in the room and 100 tables, if I'm a dealer, I don't want to stick around if there's 10 100 dealers and 10 customers walking through the room. So I get that, and I understand if people come through, and especially if they had to pay and half the room is already packed up and gone, like, well, shit, that's a bad look for the show. Now I did stop taking admission an hour earlier than last, the first two shows we took admission until 3 o'clock. Show runs until 5. So this month it was like 2 o'clock. And so by 2 o'clock, the Pokemon room was still jamming. I mean, it was still completely full. Not a single dealer had packed up. Actually, one dealer had packed up. This is a first. I had a dealer going to labor. So they, one of my assistants, I walked up to they're like, oh yeah, Tim went to go help one of the dealers because they're in labor. I'm like, oh, oh shit. So that was a first. Hopefully like the water didn't break or anything like that. I don't know. And I don't know if the wife that was in labor was actually there, or I was trying to get the information, but it was like I don't know. So yeah, so one Pokemon dealer left a little early. We'll allow that. But yeah, so it's like in a little after 2, I had a dealer come up and they're like, hey, there's a kid that started setting up cards, and he's not the dealer that was there. The dealer who paid left. And I'm like, it's like, I'm okay with that. And they were like, really? And I'm like, it's after 2 o'clock. Like, there's quite a few open tables. Like, I actually kind of like it. Like at 2 o'clock, like the table's paid for. We still have 3 hours of the show hours, and I don't want empty tables. So I kind of want that to happen. If it were 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, it's a different story. But at 2 o'clock, I'm going to let it slide. And then they said, well, he was being a real dick. I'm like, all right, well, if that's a different story, I'll just go tell him to leave. And then there was another, there was another kid that had set up like half an hour later, 45 minutes later. By this point, like half the room's empty. And I'm like, I don't fucking care. Like, I actually I want to, any kid with a Pelican case, hey, go set some cards up to make this room look full. Like, come on. Like at this point, like we're advertising until 5 and half the, but where are the sports buyers? They're gone by noon. So it's like, it's not like, I'm not blaming the dealers for packing up because there's nobody in the room to buy. Like, I'm not, what do you do? What do you do? Do you force them to stay? And then if a dealer's like forced to stay until 5, well, I'm not going to do that show because half the day is ruined. I'm not going to make any money in the afternoon. I'd rather go home and sell on eBay or whatnot or whatever. So that's like that slippery slope that I haven't figured out. And I don't know. I'm on the couch. You're my therapist. So I don't know what to do in that scenario. Same time, Pokemon Room's jamming. Pokemon Room is popping. And I'm glad some of the sports dealers see this. I'm glad the sports dealers that complain about the Pokemon see this. Because when you see big crowds at card shows, it's because of Pokemon. I'm sorry, it is. I'm not into Pokemon. I'm a sports card guy. I'm a lot jealous that there's a lot more energy in a Pokemon room than there is in a sports card room, and that a Pokemon show is from 9 until 5 is popping, and the sports card room is a library at noon. It sucks, but that's where we're at right now in today's market. So I don't know how to change. How do you get sports card buyers to come out at noon and 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock? How do you get them to stay? And I get it as a buyer myself. If I go to a show as a buyer, like I'm gone by noon, unless I'm digging through quarter boxes and dollar, which I haven't been to that extent. Now at the National, it's a different story. There's also like 5,000 tables, or how many ever tables there are at the National. I know 5,000 is exaggeration, but there's a lot. Ooh, now I'm getting all animated. There are a lot of tables. You can't cover that ground. Yesterday's show, there's 250 tables, but half of them are Pokemon, half of them are sports. So you're only looking at 125 tables. So I don't know. And do you cut back? You go 9 to 3. Well, the Pokemon room, there's half the Pokemon room still there at 5. And and there's buyers in the Pokemon room. It's not fair for the Pokemon dealers to cut them off 2 hours early because sports card buyers don't show up in the afternoon. They're gone by noon. So it is what it is. And so what do you do? I don't know. Let's go see hello to the chat. Where are we at? Cooter says maybe if they would rename it Fancy-O Texas, they would get a team. Rich says that's all because Kyle and his team have an agreement with the team from GTSM, so they get tables sold in other areas. Chris says, I was thinking if you're James Harden, OKC truck stop ass story the other night when I saw Thunder jersey patch sponsor in Loves. There you go. Oh, that's probably why he called it a truck stop ass city. Loves is based in OKC. The Love family floor seats are between the visitors' bench and scorer's table. So that's probably what he was meaning by truck stop ass city, because Loves is the big sponsor and it's the truck stop. Okay. Now it makes more sense. Truck stop ass city. Rich says, remember, professional includes minor league teams in all sports. Oh, okay. I don't count minor league sports. I was thinking minor league sports. I was not thinking minor league sports. So when people say other cities, they forget the minor league teams. Yeah. But is that really, I understand it's professional sports, but is it really professional sports? Like the South Bend Cubs, a bunch of 18-year-old kids. Is that really I guess it is, but it's. And yes, after 56 years, here it is. Truck stop ass, hillbilly dumbfuck city. Now that is a video you needed to make. It always looks better when some enterprising kids do that and set up. Max says it's because people still collect Pokemon. It's the bed the sports dealers made for themselves in the culture of sports cards, all about the almighty dollar and flipping. Vintage sports pursuit. I hear you. Damn pokey people. Same at the local show here yesterday. Max says, yes, 9-3 would be fine. LOL, getting home at 9 last night wasn't the greatest. It's OKC, though. It made just as much sense before knowing Loves is stationed there. So that's what I had. By the way, my wife cleaned my office yesterday. No, it doesn't look like it was clean. I had like trash, and I came home. And my wife was down here, which normally she's like stays away. And she has 3. Now, one of them is a giant, like 55 gallon, whatever the giant trash. One of those and 2 like kitchen trash bags. I'm like, oh, what's that? I thought like maybe it was like stuff from the storage area, like clothes or something she was going to take to Goodwill. And she's like, this is the trash I picked up out of your office and shipping room. And I'm like, oh, shit. Thank you. Oh, hey, the news came out yesterday. The news came out, which I have reached out multiple times over the years, even with like story ideas, like, hey, this Giannis, like back in the day, a Giannis card sold for $1 million. And I'm like, hey, the Madison Card Show, Giannis, like pitching ideas. Nothing. I mean, it's all who you know when it comes to media. Like in Illinois, I could get any freaking press release, and because I knew everybody in radio, newspaper, and TV. I don't know anybody here in any media. So none of my shit gets run. But all of a sudden I see a TV camera walking. I'm like, oh shit. And they did like a 2-minute segment. I don't think it's been posted online. My wife did record it. So I'm waiting for like the actual online story to be posted. I don't want to post like our living room TV video, but they did like a 2-minute segment. So that was awesome. Then they interviewed me. They interviewed Sean, my vintage guy. They interviewed Troy, who does a lot of the wax. They interviewed Kevin, who's a Pokemon guy. So it was a really good segment. So Channel 3 out of Madison did that. Channel 3000 is channel3000.com. TV3 or what's channel 3. So that was awesome. Gem City says some of us collect Pokemon and sports. Max says agree, Brian, and it's night and day difference the way you are treated and money is spent. Lady says Pokemon is a cesspool of scalpers and flippers looking for quick cash. I honestly don't see that. I do not see that at all with Pokemon. Not at my show. I don't see it. Chris says OKC is a good city. It's also on a major interstate, so it makes sense that Loves is based there. Gem City says, this is true. I'm blessed with good media contacts and friends. It helps tremendously. Max says, lady, go to a show once. You wouldn't say that. Rich says, no interview of Max. Now I'm disappointed. Probably wasn't able to. Max had a big line in front of his table. Max says, too expensive, Rich. There you go. So, so all in all, it was a good show. Next month, November, we're Black Friday weekend, Black Saturday and Black Sunday, Thanksgiving weekend, which I believe is November 29th and 30th. That'll be at the hotel, the Madison Marriott South. Forgot. West is over here in Middleton. South is the Sheraton. So November 29th, sports and Pokemon. Sunday is Pokemon only. December, January, February, all at the Alliant Energy Center. The more I'm thinking we might just do a Pokemon only show in March at the hotel. So I still need to get with the hotel to discuss things, and I want to decompress from this show. Pokemon tables will go on sale this week. I'm thinking Wednesday is when they'll go on sale online for the Sunday, November 30th Pokemon show. And then we'll get tables for December up. I might just do that earlier and earlier just to give people time to rebook. Actually, I don't want to. What I don't want to do is, because I don't have my personal life assistant yet. I don't want to book 2 shows at the same time, because that's when I need that personal life assistant to be like, oh, you made a mistake here. So there you go. All right. That's all I had for today. Great show yesterday. Good show. Thank you, dealers. Thank you, buyers. Very few, like nominal, would nominal be the right word? Like hardly any issues yesterday at all. So that's always a good thing. Let's see. Lady says, I've been to shows. It's what goes on at the stores on whatnot that is spoiled Pokemon. Yeah, shows are different. Shows are completely different. I'm sure there's a bunch of scalping going on at Target and Walmart, but shows is a different beast. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. I got to get some shipping done today before we go live tonight. I'm going to go live on eBay tonight. I'm probably going to do the Sunday night singles from the Madison Card Show. I did pick up a bunch. I don't think I brought anything in here. I'm going to do for eBay Live, I think I'm going to give Wrestling Night one more chance. Because I honestly only had one down week, and I think Thursday, I think there were still some issues with the tech with eBay Live's platform. I just don't know if they have the bandwidth for eBay Live to continue growing it, adding more streams and sellers. So until they make some tech changes. So we'll see. And I've got some good stuff. You know, I've got an Undertaker slab. I think I've got a Hogan slab still. I've got some autos. I did pick up a few wrestling. I picked up a Chad Gable auto yesterday. I picked up a gold refractor LA Knight. I picked up a couple other like prisms and refractors, just to have something to run. But last Thursday was pretty brutal on Wrestling Night. So I've got a Stacy Keibler auto in transit, so that should be here by Thursday. So we'll see. We'll see what. My $1 Million Man auto Tatanka. Or I think I ran. Did I run? I think I ran Tatanka. Oh no, I still have Tatanka. I ran Bailey. I've got another Bailey auto. I got Tori Wilson headbangers. Where's my Bailey? I should have another Bailey auto. Anyway, so we'll give Wrestling Night one more chance. If it's a dud 2 weeks in a row, I'll probably just sprinkle wrestling into my shows, because I've gone through like the collection I bought. I've got my 80s stuff, but I just don't. I really like it. Like I want to keep it. It's pretty common stuff, though. I mean, it's the base 87 set. It's the base action pack sets, but I like the stuff. So I may just sprinkle wrestling throughout my regular streams, and that tends to bring in more than the theme show. Just kind of like packs. When I just sprinkle them in, they seem to do better than a pack only show. But it gets to a point where it's like, I got too much of this stuff. Let's do a pack only show. So we'll see. All right. So I'm going to go hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, tune in tonight, eBay Live, Sunday night singles, a plethora of new stuff sourced from the Madison Card Show, from Bonsai Cards and Collectibles, my football retail. So a lot of good stuff. I still have a little bit of basketball from the new release. So we'll run some Cooper Flag and Dylan Harper, VJ Edgecombe. So all that stuff. Tonight, tune in. There's low roller. All right. Have a wonderful day. Go Bears. Bears Ravens is what's the deal on Lamar Jackson? Is he in or out? I think he was still like questionable last I heard. All right. Have a great day. Go Bears.